Ron, I don't know about you, but this is going to be a tough show to do because I'm in a coma right now. How about you?
Yeah, me too. Sleepwalking through yet another show. Aunt Becky came to visit, and then I fell asleep. I'm not sure what the heck happened.
I know. So what we're talking about is a gaming coma.
That's not what Aunt Becky put me in a coma for, but go right ahead.
Yeah, so today on episode 66, the Mario Lemieux episode, we're going to be talking about the post-Black Friday gaming coma, because we each picked up a bunch of games and seasons. We know the community did. Our Facebook group was rocking, facebook.com/group/digital to dice. That was rocking. The dice line, oh my gosh, the text line, 978-751-DICE, 978-751-3423, was rocking all weekend long and continues in today as people are still talking about what they picked up and what they're playing. It was just I want to say it was a good to great Black Friday. It really was. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of these, even the smaller companies did quite well with their sales and stuff. And I'd like to shout out to our community who did a terrific job supporting the smaller games. And I don't use smaller in any kind of derogatory term, but, you know, they're
maybe lesser known.
Lesser known. Let's go with that. Yeah, we're not talking about the big major ones, you know, out there. But some of the lesser knowns, the one-man shows or the two-man shows out there that put out these great games, they got a lot of love here on Black Friday from our community. So what we're going to do is we're going to, wrap up our show. We're going to wrap up kind of what we got and what we did on Black Friday. And, boy, we did quite well. And we found some new games and some seasons for some old games. And, yeah, so it has been a gaming coma. It really has.
Pass the stuffing. I don't want to wake up.
All right. Well, before we get into that, we're going to hit Aunt Becky, don't we?
Bye, Aunt Becky. You look so much different now that you've come home.
Oh, she's home now, right?
I don't think Lori's actually served any of her sentence yet, but, since we've had Aunt Becky in prison for the last 3 weeks, I think it's time.
She's been in prison for a lot longer than that, according to you. She's serving a digital life sentence, a virtual life sentence.
So do you think that she'll do a guest star shot in Orange is the New Black?
Oh, boy, I don't know. That's so sad. That's so sad. Anyway, so
just write the checks. She'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be good. Well, maybe her daughter will be a good lawyer now that she gets into the good schools. Maybe
they get. Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, well, all right, so kicking off what we're playing, well, I guess, a lot of it's what we got on Black Friday.
Right, so it's kind of a giant, what are we playing this week?
This will be a little bit longer, and then we'll get into, more specifics on the, actually, we can just combine them all into one.
I think this is going to
be the type of show with what we're playing going to really coincide with Black Friday. So, first off, before we get into it, let's just talk about our overall thoughts on Black Friday and the sales that we had, and some things that we liked and some things we like to see better.
It was interesting this year that Dave Cook's sale began the week before.
Oh, some people did that. A lot of people went a week before, yeah.
Because what did I read today, or did I hear that only 25% of office space is occupied because of the pandemic? And so a lot of people are still working from home and working, with Zoom and stuff and telecommuting. And so you have a lot more captive audience during the day if you're sitting there on your home computer and can check around for sales as opposed to pretending to work. And so Dave was the first one to really kind of push the pre-Thanksgiving sale. He would normally start in years past at 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central Time, his time zone, on Black Friday. And so instead of it being Black Friday, he started his massive sales on the Saturday before. And so that was a big one. And others, I think, had started. I believe a payoff pitch and Glory Days boxing kind of went the entire week because people were working from home and all that. So much more spread out than it normally would be. And some, like Pete Ventura for the replay games, it was Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And Stratomatic has had sales off and on during the week.
They're still going with some sales.
They're still going at it. And so, I think it's that time of year. And we know just from conversations around the board that this has been a banner year for sports gaming sales, with the lack of live sports or live sports on weird and wacky schedules, that people want their fix and people are going to buy games. So,
and what I've seen from the community here on the Digital to Dice community is, it's a monkey see, monkey do, because one person plays this game, and you're like, what is that game? I want to play that game too. And then, and then another guy's like, oh, that game looks like fun. And then it goes from there. And then someone else picks up a game. It's like, oh, I'm playing this one. Oh, what is that game? And so our community really did that, where it was like one person picked up and was like, oh man, I got a great deal on this, and then everybody flocks over there and checks it out and might buy it. And then someone does a video on this, and it's like, oh, cool, this looks great, I want to do that. And then even myself, I was streaming the basketball game, one of the basketball games I got that we'll talk about, and I went over to the ABA. And I had, 10, 15 people watching me stream this game. It was just chatting. And I pulled up the ABA, and the ball is red, white, and blue. And there was a couple of people in the chat room that are like, I'm going to go pick this game up, this season up, just for the red, white, and blue ball.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Between our group and our dear friend Dave Littles and his Sports Simulation and Replays group, I think that at least on Facebook, well represented, as you said, monkey see, monkey do.
And that's how you find games, though.
Absolutely.
You find it's like, what is this game? And somebody posted a picture of the radios. I forget who it was. They posted a picture of all these
Glenn Victor.
Okay, Glenn posted a picture in his house of all these old radios set up in his room. It was great, right? On the screen was this football game, and I was like, "What is this football game?" He goes, "It's 2nd and 10," and it looks just like the replay games that I got. And I was like, I have to get this now. And I did. I picked that up. We'll talk about that later too. But I had the game I had played before and didn't care for, but now that I've played other games, I warmed up to this, and now I kind of get what they're doing there. So I picked up that one, but like that picture there, just a picture, prompted me to go and get a game. And so it was really a monkey see, monkey do. It was fun finding new games and the whole bit. One thing I kind of wish they would have done, some of these people would have done it, like I say, before the Black Friday. Maybe not all week, but maybe start on a Wednesday, because what ended up happening with me is the people that are the groups of the games that started on Monday or Tuesday, let's say, I was buying some up, got some good deals, and I would buy them up, and then I would play them. Right? And I was like, wow, this is great. I want to get more seasons. I want to buy more. And the games that come out on Friday, it didn't give me a lot of time to play them. And then if I liked it, I would have gone back and bought more seasons or bought, so it's like if you go a 5-day or a 7-day, and I know a lot of them went Friday to Monday too, but
because Cyber Monday is a big deal.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just you get busy over the weekend or whatever you're doing. I tend to I work on the weekends usually. And so just the longer you have, it's like the more I can play your game. Like I went back, and we'll talk about this in a minute. A couple games I bought, I went back, and they were so good. I went back and took another bite at the apple and bought some more seasons, like before the sale ended. Whereas if it's only a 1-day sale or a 2-day sale, you might not do that. So my recommendation is make it all week. Start on Monday or Tuesday, in anticipation for Black Friday, instead of making us wait. And the other thing is, too, is that by the time Black Friday came around, and I had purchased stuff all week, and then I got the extra seasons, and then I waited for Black Friday and bought more games, there were some things on my list that I was like, no, I've spent too much money, and they didn't make it. Whereas if they were on sale on the early part of the week, maybe they would have got my money, and the other people wouldn't have.
Just send samples. What? I don't know where that word came from, but
it's just the idea that it's like they waited too long.
Yeah, no, and that's the key. And it's kind of like going to Golden Corral. If you want the endless pie, maybe not eat so much of the roast beef. Speaking of sales that didn't go well, I picked up the 4th generation Echo.
Okay.
I can't say the company name because it sets off things here in the studio, and I get yelled at for that on my streams. And so I didn't mind the size of it. It went from the hockey puck to the golf ball. And so I got it Saturday, and so I plugged it in and it sounded terrible compared to what I had. I mean, this is supposedly 2 generations above.
Yeah, but it's a lot smaller, so you're going to get a smaller speaker.
No, actually, it's a little bit bigger.
Oh, it's bigger.
What I've got now, actually put it back in my room today, was the hockey puck shape thing. And this one was kind of an oversized softball. And so supposedly, maybe I got a lemon or whatever it was. It just sounded thin. This thing's got enough in here to make it sound rich. It's a mono speaker anyway, it's not stereo. But when I play Steel Panthers or other exotic music like that,
you want to sound good, yeah.
You want it to sound good. And it's like, because I do listen to it 2 or 3 hours a day, it's like, oh my God, this is just like a Mr. Microphone type thing. Maybe I got a dud or what. So we traded, my wife and I did. So I got mine back. So not all Black Friday sales were great.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen something a little bit better from Strat.
Well, Strat does what Strat does.
Strat does what Strat does, and Strat's great, and they do their thing in the whole bit. But I would have really liked to seen a little.
Seriously, buy 4 seasons and get a 5th free. Yeah, that's a sale.
Yeah, I mean,
we spend $108 before we give you anything off.
Yeah, or 20% off a board game. It's like we all have the board games. You know what I mean? It's the seasons that we want. Release an old season or something like that. They've had some good ones. I bought a lot of Strat seasons, both PC and cards, on good sales. And this, I don't feel, is a good sale for them on Black Friday. I would have liked Play.
Right,
I would have liked Play.com to do a little bit more too. Again, they're very selective on what's on sale. And so they put up a couple of seasons of this and a couple of seasons of that. And it was nothing I wanted. So I got nothing from Play, and that's too bad. I mean, I almost picked up the Red, White, and Blue Racing, but by the time that went on sale on Cyber Monday, I had really spent too much already. So again, that goes back to,
Yeah, you got to, okay, so I want the extra helping of mac and cheese or stuffing or whatever. And like, no, I don't have any room for the green beans. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you do. You get full, and I bought a lot of stuff, and I'm happy with what I got. But I would like to see him play 15% across the board, 10% across the board. I would have absolutely picked up more Hockey Blast seasons or some golf or something. But, they only had the new season on sale. I don't want the new season. I'm not interested in playing the new hockey season. I like the older seasons. And so, I was a little, I don't say disappointed, but I didn't pick anything up from them. And I wanted to, too. And that was on my list. And there was a couple other places, too, that if they had done a little bit better, if they had done 15 to 20% instead of 10 or 25% instead of 15, I would have bought a lot more, I
only bought one game and picked up a season for Black Friday because, it's also Christmas and I get paid again this week. And, I also got to think about what the wife wants for Christmas. And so,
what season do you think she wants? What season are you going to get her? I mean, as long as she's not here, I mean, you can tell us. What season are you going to get the wife for Christmas?
When I get Sarah, actually would probably play hockey, and she was born in 73, so I probably would get her 72, 73.
Okay, WHA or NHL?
Oh, NHL.
Okay.
She's like me. We're Canadians fans, unlike some of you heathens down there. No, but in all seriousness, you just know that. Just want to make sure you're not spending too much money this time of year because you can overextend yourself and all that. So I picked up Replay Basketball, which you and I have been eyeing for a while. Our friend Todd B was doing the current replay on Discord and playing 4 quarters of selected games.
Boy, they do it right. They give you that demo. And it's a full play demo I think you can play 20% of a season. We
figured it was 16 games of the demo season.
Yeah, but it's just the idea that you can access everything that game has to offer. Well, then, I don't know if you can do the simulcast. I don't remember if that's in a demo or not.
I'm sure you can.
But
it's a full-fledged demo.
Maybe it was. But it's just the idea that you can go in and play that entire game and, free. Just download it, and then if you like it, then you go buy it in the whole. But yeah, so Replay Basketball, blew me away. And we talked about that a little bit already. That demo was so good, and I couldn't wait to get it. But yeah, so you got it, I got it. I know a lot of people in the community got it, and
we both got it. And I got the season that came. One of the things I like about that is that you could pick the season that comes with the game.
Isn't that fantastic?
Forced to go with the newer with whatever the offer is. And I got another season. So I got the game in 2 seasons and played and did a teaching game with it that Friday night and got some good advice from listeners about that. And yeah, it really is. I mean, I'm not a huge basketball fan. I've counted yesterday, Dave. I have 5 basketball games. 5.
I have 3 on the PC, and then a handful of cards and dice. And I'm not a basketball fan either.
5 basketball games. I'm absolutely flummoxed. I'm like, wow, I don't even want to count the amount of baseball games I have. And so I started a replay on replay. I'm particularly fascinated by the 61-62 season.
A few guys were talking about that season.
That's Ultimate Chamberlain, Will Chamberlain, 50 points a game, and the Celtics are the Celtics, and Oscar Robertson averaged a triple-double, and there's only 9 teams. So if you're going to do a full season project, that's only 400 or so games, I think, at max. And so it's not that impossible to do, and it certainly is just so different from the basketball that you and I grew up with in the late 70s, early 80s, or what the NBA is today.
Which is, I was going to say, which is very different than what the NBA is today. Which is
very different. And so
it's unwatchable today.
I don't want to say that because it's different from what we saw as kids. And because I had a lot of these discussions when I covered baseball. Covering the Nats. Today's baseball is very different from what it was when you and I were kids.
I put on a basketball game last year. This was before all the COVID stuff. And I don't know if it might have been a playoff game. I just was sitting around one night and it's okay, let me check this basketball out, And it just was
3-point city, yeah.
It was 3 after 3, and it was miss after miss after miss after 3 miss, and it was just like, there's no working it in deep. It's just who can hit the most 3-pointers. It was brutal. I watched 3 or 4 minutes and I turned it off. I was like, this is just brutal. Whereas, the basketball I liked from the mid 80s there and some of the 70s, it was, working it in and the occasional 3-point shot, but, the sky hook by Kareem or Robert Parrish, and Bird was the fake and then Dipsy Do and left hand to get in. I mean, that was just what I enjoyed instead of just bombs away all the time.
Yeah. But, today's kids will think whatever they're doing 10 years from now is hot steaming garbage.
But I imagine 60-61 is way different.
You shoot a foul shot at every foul. I mean, you talk about flow. That must have been brutal to sit there and watch that tweet.
I was playing 70-71. Of course, I got 70-71 for that for my Buffalo Braves. And they won opening night against Cleveland, by the way. But I heard Cleveland, that was an expansion team, so that's why they won. And Cleveland was worse than Buffalo that year. But anyway, what I noticed about that game, and again, I don't know a lot about basketball, especially early 70s basketball, but the guy would get fouled, and he would take one shot. And then if he made it, the other team got the ball. So it's like, boy, that's kind of crappy that you're going down and you get the chance to take 2 because there's no 3 points back then. But if you get fouled, the maximum you can get is 1.
Well, unless it's a shooting foul, then you got 2. But then that's why they call it the bonus. So when you had more than 5 team fouls in a quarter, that was the bonus shot. Then you would get 2.
Well, then you get 2. Okay,
and then on shooting fouls, you would get 3 chances to make 2,
I did notice that. I did notice that 3 to make 2. I did notice
3 to make 2, which they used the international ball for a long time after the NBA stopped using it. I like that, and so different rules as the game evolves and the size of the players evolve and the speed of the game evolves too. I mean, it's so. Baseball is much more specialized now than it was when you and I were kids. But basketball, power forward can go out and play in 2-guard. So it's just one of those things. And again, it all just kind of evolves. And so more so mean, what I liked about the replay basketball game is that everything flowed. You could follow it all the way through. You knew when to press the button when it was your turn to do that. And I like games that are a hybrid of fast action cards and dice. I understand that basketball and hockey need to have fast action cards just to move the game along. But the dice makes you stop, and it gives it a random element that I don't think you find with a game that's pure fast action cards, unless you're shuffling all the time.
This basketball game, it checks off more boxes than I could put down on a chart. You know, it's got the cards and dice experience down. You feel like you're playing cards and dice. You flip the fast action cards. You roll the dice. You can roll your own dice and put in the numbers in here if you want. I mean, that is just a sign of a great game. You get the simulcast going, which I really like. Thanks to Todd and I think it was Steven on the Delphi forums and a couple other guys in the chat room showed me how to use the simulcast, where you can be playing your game and then you have the kind of like the scoreboard at the top, the ticker at the top of the other games, and you can click and go into any game at any time and stop playing another game if your game's a dud. That is just so cool, and I'm trying that with 2nd and 10 too. That thing there, but this basketball game, it flows. I printed out some of the charts to follow along, and some of the the keys. It's and there's some symbols in the game, but they're fairly you can almost figure out every play by looking at the card without going to the chart.
Yep, and by the third quarter of the training game that I was doing on Twitch, I had figured out how to read the cards. And so I could see the dice roll come up and go, oh, I know what's coming. And by the way, just because we don't talk about maybe your game of choice out there doesn't mean that we don't like your game. It just means that, we're always trying new things. And I think one of the things that's happened, especially for me over the last year and a half, is that, it's not just putting the pineapple on pizza. Do you like the mushrooms? Do you like the peppers? Whatever. I mean, you and I have played, Dave,
a lot of games.
And so if we talk about a game, it doesn't mean that we're poo-pooing your game.
Yeah. I meant to bring that up at the beginning of the show. Is that
that's why I just did it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I told you to remind me. But we play games and we enjoy playing on games. And just because we like game X, it doesn't mean we don't like game Y. And if we don't talk about game Y, it still doesn't mean we don't like it. It's just that this is what we're playing, and this is what we talk about on our show. We can't cover every game. Okay, we just can't. There's no way we could cover every game, but it's just we talk about the ones we're playing, the ones we know, the ones we bought, maybe ones that we've seen. Again, the whole bit. So and when you can tell when we like a game, we talk about it a lot. Mm-hmm. But like Ron said, it doesn't mean that we don't like this other game just because we don't talk about it or don't talk about it as much.
Every game has strengths, and every game has weaknesses.
Yep. And there was someone that was giving me a little bit of pushback on something about well, why not this game? Why not that game? It's like. Why do you have to look at it half empty?
It's the old show Iron Chef. Did you ever watch that?
I've heard of it. I never watched it.
Okay, so the premise of the show is
wasn't he a wrestler?
That's the Iron Sheik.
Oh, I get those guys mixed up all the time.
Sure you do. Yeah, go ahead, pat yourself on the back there, Gardner.
So Iron Chef.
The premise of the Iron Chef. It was or is. It's two huge, restaurant chefs have given a special ingredient, and you have an hour. You have assistants too, but you have an hour to bake 5 dishes with whatever that ingredient is, and then the judges will take samples of that. So, for instance, let's say lobster, okay, and so they make, including an appetizer, a main course, a dessert. Lobster-based dessert, so whatever it is. And so you on the testing panel have to eat little samples of 10 dishes with the same ingredient. Got to help you if you don't like it because, green peppers? Great. And so I guess getting back to that thing, it's like, okay, we try A, we try B, we try C, and we plug in whatever our favorite season is or season we know the most about, because it gives us a good sense of how the game plays. And eventually, Cheetos again? I can't believe I hit E7 on the vending machine. I meant to get Ruffles, and I got Cheetos. I got to eat them now. So that sort of thing. I guess we're going with other games.
Yeah, so I mean, we talk about things we like, and again, just don't read into it that we don't like your favorite game because we're not talking about it.
Right.
Just whatever. But this basketball game, the demo blew me away. How fast you could get it to go. There's enough options to make it flow. You can roll the dice. You can sit back and just watch the game roll the dice if you want. I prefer to slow it down and follow along, and then go from there. I even take out the fast break chart and follow that along to see like what is going to happen on the fast break. I like the stat package. I like how the schedule looks. Just the recap. I mean, everything about this is just it's so easy. It flows. It's smooth. It does all this stuff here. And again, I'm not even a big basketball guy, but I picked this up, Replay PC Basketball, in 2 or 3 seasons. I got the one that came with it, and then I picked up 2 or 3 more. I forget. But I was like, so that should keep me busy for a while until they come out with some more 80s seasons. But I started the 85 Celtics season, I think, as you did, right? You did 85? No, you're doing 60, 61.
61, 62.
Oh, it's Al. I think it was Al. Al's playing 85, 86, I think.
We both have it.
Yeah. Somebody else was playing it, and I thought it was Al. But yeah, so I started.
That's how we live in New England at all, can you?
Yeah, I started playing 85, 86 Celtics. I'm going to stick with the Celtics. And 70, 71, I'm going to bounce around, but probably play a lot of the Braves. So I played my first Braves game, as I talked about, and they beat Cleveland in 70, 71. And the ABA stuff is just going to be another bounce around. I bought that season there because that's the last season that a lot of the teams folded. So I want to go look at the schedule, and I think it was Robbie said that there's a way of changing the schedule to make it a full schedule. So the teams that folded never fold, if you can follow that. Mm-hmm. And we'll play out a full season of the ABA to see how these teams would have done. So I just thought it was a bizarre season, you know what I mean? Because teams left and the whole bit. And I love that bizarreness of it. So
you read Loose Balls?
No, we talked about that on the show.
We have talked about okay.
Yeah. No, I have not. I think it was. I think I went to get it. It was really expensive. I was like, I'll wait till it goes on sale or something like that. But yeah, it's about the ABA. Right. But again, I'm not a huge basketball guy, but I would probably like that because it's very similar to the WHA. Which
it's all fly by the seat of your pants type stuff.
Yeah. So Replay PC Basketball, big thumbs up for both of us. That was a new game buy for me with a few seasons, and that went on sale on Friday. And like I say, I bought it with some seasons and I liked it so much that I went back and took another bite at the apple like late Sunday night and grabbed one more season because
it's like 4 or 5 things that I really wanted.
Yeah, it just was. But yeah, there was so many good games, so many good games out there. It's like
So I'll grab some more this week. What else have I been playing?
You played some Shavini games, right?
I did a couple of the Shavini games.
Yeah.
I did.
What was the one you posted there? You posted one.
I posted Daring Racers.
Yeah.
Somehow I found myself starting a 2019 Formula One replay.
Nice.
And again, because there's only 20 drivers, you can get through a race sorting after each of the 8 segments in about 40 minutes. And if you have an idea of what the track looks like, you can kind of picture it in your mind's eye. Australia, I knew. That's a street course in Melbourne. Had nothing to do with shrimp on the Barbie boomerang boy. And there we go. And so, you could just kind of picture how the race went in your head. I did the Bahrain race was the second one, and the next thing I do is Shanghai. Not familiar with those tracks. I knew that Bahrain was at night. And so, so again, you can picture in your head and how you do it. And what I did and what I might do if I continue this replay is I took a 10-sided die and I rolled it. And instead of going through qualifying for each race, I will flip based on the grid from the last one. And so when I rolled for Bahrain, I rolled a 10. And so I flipped the top 10, trying to make sure that the top two drivers don't win every single race. Give them a little bit of an impediment to do that. So I literally flipped half the field. The Lewis Hamilton finished second. I think he started 10th because he got the pole for the first race and was 10th in the second. And he came back to finish second. And that was fun. That's one of those, house rules that's like, okay, yeah. Now, for NASCAR, there's 40 some odd drivers every week. That would be a lot to do. But for this, it was fun. And the other one I finally tried out was spring coming baseball. You tried that out once before.
Yep.
I grabbed a while ago the Eastern League, and it's for the mid 80s because here in Burlington we had the Vermont Reds.
Oh, that's the one I saw that you posted. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And so for 3 years, their 3 years that the Reds were in Burlington, they won the Eastern League championship.
Oh, wow.
Barry Larkin, Chris Sabo played up here with the Reds. We had the Mariners in the late 80s as a double-A team. Some guy by the name of Griffey played up here.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I watched him take batting practice.
Nice.
He was still hurt.
Ooh.
And so Ken Griffey Jr. at 18 years old put on a show in batting practice that I still remember to this day.
That's neat. I've seen a couple of minor league hockey. Well, I used to have season tickets to a minor league hockey team, and there were some guys that were just head and shoulders above the rest, and you knew that they, and they might not be the next superstar, but they would absolutely not. They're not for long for the minors, and they would absolutely hold their own in the majors.
I'm not sure if Ken Griffey Jr. remembers his time in Burlington or not. He wasn't here all that long. I believe they had him in AAA within a week. I think he played all of 4 games for the Vermont Mariners, and maybe one of those games was at Centennial. And so I did. I just pulled it out and I grabbed cut and paste in the Albany Colony Yankees and played 3 games against that. And it's basically you roll to see how many hits a team gets in an inning. And then you roll a percentage die or 2 10-siders to see if they can convert that hit into a run. And so it was very clever. I mean, I'm not really looking for stats for the 5th starter of a minor league team in 1985. That really doesn't matter to me. Maybe matter to him or his family or his grandchildren. But, that's fine. And so for a quick play baseball game, it was a fun way to spend about a half hour. I put in another team. Vermont went 2-4.
Oh well.
But it was fun, and I got it. So the dice rolls were there, and again with Roberto's things. I mean, we call them quick play games. I wouldn't even call it a medium play game, but they're not quick to resolve. But again, you can make up your own story for that. And the second game they won against Pittsfield, the last game that I played, they got the magic 3rd die roll. And so when I rolled whatever it is, the 10 or the 12 or the 2d6 or whatever, I was down 2 runs and I scored 3 and won the game.
No, that's nice.
So that was pretty cool. And so, so when I do those, I post the results onto our page and onto Roberto's page. Yep. Because Roberto's been very nice to us. And,
they're fun to follow. I like those, yeah.
And again, it's just at some point we're going to do a whole show about niche sports, and Roberto's would be front and center because how many of you are dying to play an equestrian game?
Oh, but that's what he does well is the lesser known sports, Mm-hmm. That's where I think he shines.
Oh, absolutely. So that was quite fun. That was quite fun.
So you picked up some more of that?
I installed a 2nd and 10 on this computer, and I reinstalled Replay Baseball, and so I got a whole mess of new stuff to.
Did you pick up any seasons for Replay Baseball?
I did not. I might today or tomorrow. I was looking to see what was there to grab one. I have 3. I had 78, but I just did a full season 78 Replay for Action PC. I'm not real anxious to go back and do that one again. 13 and 17. I had started a 17 replay before with the Nats in Oakland. Or not, no, Houston. And to tell you just how good Replay Baseball plays, I was ready to chuck computers out windows because the Nationals bullpen in Replay performed as well as they did in real life until they made some trades in July. That's the team I covered for Fansided, and it wasn't fun. I mean, it was so realistic and so maddening that and so yes, it is. It's tells you just how good of a game, but it's like
Now, when you were playing the Astros, was Sarah in the kitchen banging the trash barrel? Sorry, I had to go there.
Especially when Jose Altuve was up.
Yeah, I used to like the Astros too. The Astrodome, the orange jerseys. I used to like the Astros, but now that's been soured.
Because the Nats opened up that new training facility in West Palm Beach. They built it with the Astros, and so I'd seen the Astros quite a bit in that spring training, covering games, and you got to like that team. They played hard. They were young. They were hungry. They were cheating. I mean,
but no.
And so yeah, that was fun. So I'll probably go through. I got to see what I want. There's quite a few things that I want. So there's probably a replay season. Roberto, I'll be talking to you. And like I said, there's just so much and little samples of this and little samples of that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I along with you and a lot of other people got to replay PC basketball. And again, I just loved it so much that I picked up a few seasons with that. Because it was like it's a brand new game for me, but I was like, man, I'm going to take advantage of the sale and get some seasons, put them in the bank here, and now I have them, And there was still a couple I was looking at, but I was like, maybe down the line I'll get it because I got enough to play right now and to wet my whistle and some of the projects I want to do. And as we talked about, that game just plays. It's so well, it's smooth, it's fun. It's true cards and dice on a tabletop. Just we talked a lot about that, so we'll move on to something else. Now the replay PC baseball, that's another new one for me. Mm-hmm. And I was not going to get this. This was not on my radar one bit. But after I played the basketball game, I was like, wow, I really like the basketball. And the baseball was kind of similar. And when I get in there and kicked around some of the options in that game and some of the graphics you can do and change this and change that and then I printed out the sheets and I'm following along in that game like I do the basketball and I'm getting an idea what's happening. I was like, boy, this is really fun. And so I did get that, and I picked up a handful of seasons with that game, and then I went over to Payoff Pitch, and I'm not again. We were talking about this last week. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what game I was looking at getting for baseball, but I wanted to get a baseball game, and this one, I was looking at 2 or 3 of them, and finally this one just grabbed me. And the videos I saw on it and what I read on it, I was like, wow, this makes sense. And the sale they had was the best. I got to say, Sidelines, it was a Sideline Strategy.
Yeah, Sideline Strategy.
With Payoff Pitch, they absolutely had the best sale. I think they were 25% off. I got the game for $4. Okay? And the seasons were $6.75. So, I picked up the game in a couple of seasons and I printed them out, and as if you saw on the Facebook page, I've been printing out the cards in a card stock. I've been adding the team logos and a little bit of color to the cards and rounding the corners. And the Payoff Pitch cards I have
those look really sharp.
Now they're the best cards in the business if you buy it direct from Sideline. Okay, so I'm not comparing mine to them, but I like how mine come out. I like how I added some color to the charts. I like how I added the team logo and I rounded the corner, so it kind of looks like a deck of cards there, and it just works well. And I printed out, I don't know, like 12 or 13 teams from 79, and that's the season I'm playing. So Payoff Pitch come out of nowhere, and I'm following the game, and I'm not getting stuck. I mean, sometimes you might have to look at a chart and read a little bit further along, but Payoff Pitch, it works for me. It just how that game plays and how it's laid out. It really
computer version. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that game just works for me. The Payoff Pitch, I can play it and follow along, and that works for me. It does. So I because of the sale, I went back and I grabbed a lot of seasons for that game, and then I found out with Replay PC baseball, you could input your own stats. You could tell it what happened on each at bat. And so a few people were saying, yeah, I play Payoff Pitch, but I use the PC Replay interface, which is ideal for even some of my hockey products. I wish there was a hockey game like this because I would love to play on the tabletop a game.
I'd love to see you replay hockey.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, so I'm playing. So I tell the computer to play some games, and then the game I want to play, I can set up Payoff Pitch and play Payoff Pitch and then input the stats into Replay there. And so I'm getting both experiences. The computer's doing the heavy lifting, doing all the calculations and all the stats, and I can play whatever game I want from that season, either in Replay PC or on my tabletop. And so with Payoff Pitch, I get Payoff Pitch, I get All-Star Lineup Baseball, and I get Strat, and I'm going to rotate between those and play on the tabletop in using the Replay Baseball PC interface, if you can follow all that. Because they have an option. If you click the pencil, you can say, okay, it's a strikeout, or it's a ground to first, or it's a fly ball to left field. And you can tell the game what happened, and that's brilliant. I think you can do that in basketball. I think there might be a way to do that. I'm not 100% sure. But
I know you can roll your own dice in the basketball game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I heard you might be able to add your own stats in that. I'm not sure. But anyway, so Payoff Pitch, it works for me. I played on the tabletop. I ordered the fast action cards. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I'd be tempted to order teams from him down the line. But I ordered, like I said, for $6.75. I got a ton of seasons. And now I can print out what I need. And even if I want to play here, if I'm looking to play Payoff Pitch, but I'm going to record it. If it's not going to be in a tabletop, I could just print out a sheet of the team. I don't even need to print out and do all the cards really nice. I can just print out a sheet of the team and just look at the sheet and tell it what happens too, if you follow that. So I don't need to go and cut the cards and make them all look nice. I can just print out the two teams on pieces of paper, and then just look down at what happened and input it in the PC Replay Baseball. So that's a quick way around playing that as well. But so Payoff Pitch, I got a lot of seasons with that. I would love to see 1980 come up with Payoff Pitch. I really would. That's one of my favorite seasons. That's like the target season. 79, 80, 81 was target baseball for me. So I got the Payoff Pitch, the Replay PC basketball and baseball, and then of course I picked up some Downey stuff. I got the Gridiron Wars. I have not really looked at it yet, and I knew I wouldn't get to it for a while because I'm
very curious about that.
The thing is all these other games, we talk about gaming Coma, all these games I bought, I'm playing. Seriously, I'm playing them all. I'm playing the Payoff Pitch. I'm playing the PC basketball, the PC baseball. I'm playing all these games I bought. So I know that I'm happy, even though I spent more than I wanted to. I found 3 new games. I like them all, and I'm playing them all, and that's a good thing. But the Downey, the Gridiron, I got that just to check out. I think I just got that in one season, and I picked up some more game-winning drive seasons. I like game-winning drive, I do. So I picked up the game-winning drive. I think last week I already bought these. So I just kind of repeating what I talked about last week. But I got the Super Bowl champions, which is neat. So the Super Bowl pack. So it has every matchup from the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go back.
108 teams.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to replay all the Super Bowls using Game-Winning Drive as a little project I'm going to have done. So that could be kind of fun. And I also got the Final Score football. So when I go back into my football mode, I'm going to pull that out, and I can. I got like the big bundle pack, everything up through 2014 or something like that. So I got every season through 2014. And I think that's a quarter by quarter game. I like quarter by quarter games. Mm-hmm. I really do. Rather than roll. I mean, it's okay to roll for the final, but football, you want to go quarter by quarter. Like that 5 dice pro football from Al Wilson. It's quarter by quarter. That is fun.
Retired after winning the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah. No, I haven't gone back to that since all the Black Friday sales. But so that's what I grabbed there, and I'm playing. The big thing was I'm playing all these games, and how many times? And one of our topics is going to be piles of shame. Okay, because we all have a gaming pile of shame of games that we bought, we never played. I have played all these, and I played all these a lot, and I've done some streaming on these games too. And so I'm getting my money's worth out of these already, and I plan to over quite some time. And the last one I got was a 2nd and 10. That wasn't on sale, so I picked that up after Black Friday. I just bought it outright
but it's the best value in football.
Yeah, you get all the seasons, and it's just really fun. I love having the red zone feature where you can go to all the different games and jump in. I was jumping around last night, and you would show me how to do plays and stuff because I couldn't figure it out. But now that I've played these other games, I have a better idea on how they work. Because before, I coming from Action PC football.
Don't let Uncle Ron call defense for you.
Yeah, to go to 2nd and 10, they're just 2 different games. I didn't get it, but now that I went in there, like okay, now I get how they do these games. 2nd and 10 makes more sense. And it's more of a personal thing for me. I don't know how much streaming I would do with that, but I'm enjoying kicking back in my season and bouncing around the ticker and finding the fun game to go to.
There's no animation with that game.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
no, it's all just reading the text and the whole bit. But it kind of worked because all the games play. It's okay. Let's go to New England now, and so the New England has.
Man, is it playing a game of football?
Yeah, I mean, you can call your plays. You substitute the guys in, and I like how they have the fatigue factor, whereas you have to rest guys. I like that rather than just letting everybody play every. I do like that.
I can see why people like it. I don't.
Because it reminds me of hockey a lot, where you just can't play the first line. You have to play other guys and rest guys, and that's part of the strategy and the fun of that is like, okay, this guy needs to sit out or he's going to be tired, so I'll sit him out, bring in a guy for a couple of plays, and now I'll put the other guy back in. And I was really having fun with that. That was like a game within the game, is figuring out who to put in, and I can't pass to this guy because he's already caught his one pass for the game, so he's going to be a decoy. And I was enjoying that. I was enjoying 2nd and 10, and I just especially enjoying like, okay, well, this game's a blowout. Let me go to this other game, and let me check out this one here. And you can simulate, a couple of weeks, and it just does everything, just like the replay games. It really does.
Yep. Well, it's the same programmer.
Yeah. So this guy gets it. This guy gets what I want in a game because he everything that I would want in a game he puts in there. And it's just, again, I'm not saying other games don't, but his games here.
They're exceptional.
They strike a chord with me. What I'm looking for games, it strikes a chord. And what you're looking for a game and what other people are looking for games might be different than me. So that's why these games work for me. There's it just works. And that's all I'm going to say. But so that's what I picked up is those games. And I still got more I'm looking at. I'm not quite done. And I know some of the sales are kind of over, but I thought about maybe contacting some of these people and saying, hey, can you give me that sale for, put that sale on for an hour for me, maybe sell me another season, or maybe I'll try something new or whatever, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But, there's a few other things I want to pick up. Those were the big ones I got. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if there's anything else I got, but those were the absolute big ones.
That was a lot.
It was a lot. I didn't get anything from Dave Cook. His sale was ridiculous. If you didn't have basketball or hockey or I think even football, that now was the time to pick it up. The deals for that were ridiculous.
You could get complete collections of sports for $300.
Yeah, not only that, but just you could get the both games, and he had a 2-game package with like 8 seasons or something like that.
$60, yeah.
And it was ridiculous. Normally like $250, but it was on sale for this. I mean, his sales are really, really good. I was tempted to get some of the basketball seasons because I have all the hockey that I would ever play with them, and I have the key baseball seasons with him. So I almost was tempted to pick up some either a football or a basketball season, but I ended up not, or some golf. I should have because the sales were good, but I'm
anxiously awaiting Action PC Multiple Game Disorder.
Yeah, I have all the games. I enjoy playing all those games, but like I said, I went into this Black Friday wanting to try something new. Okay,
and you did.
I did. I have my games I play, my Strat, my Shootout, and Action PC Hockey and Strat. All these games that I play. And those are my go-to games. But I really did want to try something new, and with the Black Friday sales, it was just enough to get me to try. I got 3 new games I'm trying out now. And if they had, not so much PHP, but if Replay had done a little bit better on their season sales, I would have got a lot more seasons. So that'll be for next time, either Christmas or next year, whatever. So,
but yeah, you tried the game and you liked the game, and now you're more likely to go back and get more stuff for it.
Yeah.
And so
that's
sometimes you can have the pusher be pushed.
Yeah. Yep. So just kind of wrapping up. I guess we could probably wrap up. Let me play the music and we'll wrap up. Here we go. Just to give us a little break into our final thoughts and the wrap up of Black Friday. So I want to say that I don't remember exactly what I did last Black Friday, but this Black Friday will stand out to me as a very fun one where I found a lot of new games and I'm enjoying all the games that I got.
I've said this right from the first show. This is the golden age of sports simulation games. And there are so many good games out there that it's impossible to find them all and to play them all and to enjoy them fully, because there's just, it's an embarrassment of riches out there right now.
And just the idea that, that I'm not a huge baseball guy, and I'm digging into baseball games, and I'm liking it. I'm tempted to pick up some of the replay printed teams or PDFs, because right now I just have the replay on the PC. But, I'd be tempted to do that. I'm tempted to look into some of these other games. Because you go to the channels on the baseball channels on YouTube, and people are playing a lot of these games, and they're trying out some new stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks neat. But I got 2 new baseball games right now, so I really don't want to get into any more baseball games, because I have a couple here already that I play. Now I've added 2 more, so I don't want to get overloaded with baseball, because I want to play what I got right here. And like I said, I was learning replay baseball and payoff pitch at the same time. Then I start getting them confused because I'm learning them at the same time. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that, But yeah, this was a good year. I found some new games. I almost pulled the trigger on some other games that I didn't, just because this is the route I went this year. Maybe at another time in the future I'll pick up something from 4th Street or Dice Nuts or something like that. That I didn't go that route this year. I did a lot with the PC stuff this year, aside from payoff pitch. But it doesn't mean I won't look at the other things. There was a few things I really wanted to try some other stuff. I was like, man, I bought a lot here. I really did. And like I say, you add in the Downey stuff that I bought. And there's just so many projects swirling through my head right now that I want to do. I want to do, obviously, like everybody, it's a 75 World Series on PC Replay. I want to do that and roll my own dice, Sox Reds. That's going to be a fun one. I did the Bucky Dent game, by the way, on my channel.
You said you homered.
I Replay PC Baseball, the Bucky Dent game, Sox Yankees 78, the one playoff game, and he homered. It wasn't the winning homer, but he homered.
I still want the option to beam the crap out of players.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an option to hit by pitch. You can do intentional base on balls. Like I guess it'd be the same thing.
I don't want to put them on base that way. I want to. Never mind.
Well, I suppose you could drill them if you wanted to. You could just say, "Hey, I'm going to drill them." The only way to get them the first is do the intentional walk, but I guess hitting them is intentional. So if
you get you suspended, but it makes you feel better.
Yeah, it does.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. There.
All in all, it was a fun time. I really enjoyed interacting with the community all week long.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, Facebook was blowing up. The Dice Line was blowing up. I don't know what I mean. No, like I say, Delphi a little bit, but it's just everyone's going nuts about what'd you get, and it was funny how like one guy would go get, he goes, oh, I got this, and then everyone else would go out and get it. You know what I mean? It's like, and then one guy's like, oh, I bought this season. Oh, I got to get that season now. And everybody was like just so excited. Like, what'd you get? And like we would, and it was kind of fun that we would play something and people like, oh, now I got to get that game.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna now, or I'm gonna get that season now, or whatever it was. And I did the same. I was following along. I was like, oh, damn you got this season. All right, I'm going to go get it too, because it's on sale. So you feel like, man, I need to get it now while it's on sale. It's just kind of like ingrained in your head, type of deal. But yeah, no, that was fun. Really fun 4 or 5 days. And still today, like I said, I'm still getting texts about people, what they got. And, people asking like, hey, what'd you think of that? What'd you think of this? And then, it was just a fun few days. Nice break from the normal doom and gloom of the week, to enjoy gaming, to stream gaming, to talk about games in a very positive way. And we got a couple of nice notes from some of the people that they bought the games and they told the developer, hey, I heard you guys on Digital to Dice, so that was nice to know that we're talking about their games and maybe they got a little bump from that, and that maybe we can have some small impact on the gaming community in a positive way is what we're trying to do.
We try.
Yep. So Black Friday, food coma, gaming coma, whatever you want to call it. Now we got to play all these games.
That's right.
In all these seasons. And I'm looking forward to. I really am looking forward to it. And sometimes just getting a new game is kind of fun. It really is. Because now I got 3 new games to play. And, actually 4 if I count second and 10. So I got 4 new games to play, and I don't know which one to play first. And like I said, I come down here last night, and Al was playing some baseball. I think he was playing replay baseball, and I was playing my basketball game. And when my basketball ended, I played some football. And when my football ended, I put in and I started playing some baseball. And I'm just like all over the place. And like, this is great. And now, after we record this show, while the show is being processed, I'm going to probably go set up replay baseball upstairs on the tabletop, and I want to try the fast action cards again.
There you go. You mean payoff pitch?
Yeah. Payoff pitch with the fast action cards.
Right.
And I think I might use the combo, the roll the dice and the fast action cards, like I do with shootout, because somebody said that worked out pretty well. So so all these things I get to try out, and then at some point I'll try payoff pitch and input the stats into PC replay. So I saw a couple people doing that on YouTube already, and it seems to work pretty well. So all in all, a very, very fun Black Friday.
Absolutely.
We enjoyed discussing. It was almost like Christmas morning, like, hey, what'd you get? That's what it felt like with all the different games that we found and stuff. And there's games that Ron and I did not get that other people got, and we still enjoyed. People, hey, well, I picked up this and I picked up that, and okay, so I made a little mental note that maybe next time I'll look at that game or this season. So what'd you get? Seriously, post away. The usual spots. Let me fire this up here. The website, I want to clarify the website. It's www.digital2dice.com, digitaltodice.com. And you do need the www for some reason, because we have it forwarded over to our Spreaker page. And if you just go digitaltodice.com and no www, sometimes it doesn't work. So keep in mind that you do need the 3 W's in front of that. But that's what over on Spreaker. You can comment on Spreaker. These episodes get uploaded to my YouTube page, Dave Gardner Videos on YouTube, as you probably already seen. And you can comment there or over on Facebook, facebook.com/digital-groups.
We're over 540 now, right?
Yeah, I think it's over 540. Yeah, facebook.com/groups. That's Digital to Dice. That's where a lot of the action takes place. And the dice line, 978-751-DICE. Send us a text. So let us know what you got. And what did you get, and what are you enjoying playing the most? What didn't you get that maybe you wish you got that you're still going to get? Just let us know how you guys did on Black Friday. So anyway, for Dave, Ron, and Aunt Becky,
bye-bye.
Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Monty.
I was waiting for that.